Hey everyone, and welcome to day 3 of my horror movie review marathon, and I've got your Unfriended dark web movie review. Guy gets new laptop. Guy and his friends are being watched online. Can this possibly end well? So as far as the story goes, this next installment to the first Unfriended movie takes an even darker turn with what not to do when going online. I considered the first movie to be a guilty pleasure of mine since the first movie came out, and this movie has a different concept where it ups the ante by creating this cyber terror that shows some pretty horrifying scenarios taking place in these different videos that are on this computer, where this one group of friends gets involved in this game of horror with unknown antagonists that are part of this inner circle within the dark web. And it starts off, stupidly funny at first until things pick up about a half an hour in, and that's when all of the mayhem ensues. This group of people discovers that there is this sinister agenda happening online, and it will affect them all. And speaking of which, this movie reminded me of another movie called Sinister. Now, as far as the casting goes, some of the characters that were portrayed in this movie seemed like they overacted a bit, and while at times I did like the character interactions with one another, a couple of the girl characters were annoying in this movie and sort of made me not really care if something bad were to happen to them. Even though this does shed some light on, the dangers of being online and delving into things you really shouldn't. The things that I liked about this movie was that it feels more realistic as compared to the supernatural horror elements of the prior movie. It shows, like I said, how realistic things can be when you deal with, people you don't know online. It has other, elements of other horror movies that I've seen, like Fear.com or VHS, and I felt like even the writing was a little better in this movie. I'm sure some people would disagree about the writing and the screenplay altogether, but I definitely felt more immersed watching this movie, and it really made me feel this roller coaster of emotions because of all of the different horror elements that are happening. And until the very end of the movie, it was just a crazy concept altogether, and to see it sort of be relevant to today's society of how there's just so much going on with cybersecurity and just strange people all over the world, like online, trying to do all of these really illegal and even horrible things, and people getting involved in stuff. People in this movie are being punished for no good reason at all. So I just think this movie was maybe even slightly better than the first Unfriended movie, and that's saying a lot. So overall, I would say that this movie was still, it had some flaws to it, but it was kind of impressive at the same time, so I really enjoyed watching it, and I would recommend seeing this, whether or not you've seen the first movie, because it's not really, it's kind of like a spin-off. I would give this 4 hearts on the heart rate scale. So let me know in the comments what you guys thought of Unfriended Dark Web, and come back tomorrow for day 4 of my horror movie review marathon. And as always, you guys can subscribe to my channel. I've got movie reviews, movie updates, come back every week for a Trial Thursday video. You guys can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter, and I will see you guys later.